right, so you need a Phillips or star point screwdriver and a flathead or a trim tool. That's all you need to get this job, and of some good strength. You will need your strength. So first we're going to take off the handle. You can see it's just a little clip there. So we go and take our flathead, we just put it into the little clip, and we're going to pop it right out. Just pull down and the clip will come right out. And then the handle will slide right off, no problem. There you go. You can see it's just like it's notched in there. That's all that holds it. And then we have 3 screws. 1, 2, and 3. So we're just going to take those screws out. You can use a drill or anything for this. I did it by hand, but a drill works just fine. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, and then this just slides right out. Now when you're sliding it out, do watch for both the seatbelt bracket and the handle bracket. You just kind of want to work around that. You don't want to scratch up your trim bit or anything like that. So you give it a pull up. But yeah, especially around here, you got to be careful. See? So you just kind of work it around. Now there's 2, especially if you have power seats, there's going to be plugs here. You can either pull out the plugs from the trim itself, or you can unplug them. I'm showing you one of each, so this one I unplugged. That's easier to do for this one. The other one, the button for the plug actually faces the trim, see it's over there. So instead, I'm going to take out the actual bit itself. So you can just kind of go in there, pull up. You see I'm pulling up as I'm prying. And then the bottom is a little trickier to get to. I did try prying it like this, but that didn't work. I actually had to end up turning it a bit to get a better view of it, because it's 2 tabs at the top, the ones I just pulled out there, and then 1 bigger tab at that bottom. And that bottom one, especially with the tension from pulling, I guess from lifting out the switch slightly, does make it a little bit trickier to try and get out there. But entirely possible. Now I could have edited this down and showed it just pop out, but I am keeping this in because I do want to show that it is a bit awkward to do one way or the other. I actually believe this is easier than trying to get that plug out though, because the button faces away. But you can see here, I just wanted to show it. It's not like, oh boom, it just popped out nice and easy. I wish it did. Don't we all? But no, but I wanted to show that, you know, it is a little awkward to do, and it does take a minute or so. But then once you get it, it just pops out nice and easy. So you can see I got the flathead in there. Again, a trim tool would work just as well. And then once it pops out, it just slides right out. There's your 2 tabs up top and 1 bigger tab at the bottom. All right, so now they have these plastic kind of rolled tabs, and that's what you got to pull off. There's 1 in the back. There's 2 on each side. 1 side here. There you go. See, that's it there. And then 1 at the front. Right over here. And then there's the other side here, kind of behind the bar. You can see there's the tab 1 right here, and then right above. So we're going to start with the back first. Now the back, move all the wiring and stuff out of the way. The back is definitely the hardest one to do. There's 3 metal tabs there. First, be very careful when you're doing these. These metal tabs all around are very sharp and can cut you pretty bad. I have been lucky enough never to have that experience, but I've come close a few times. So do be cautious. So you release one side, and then you go and release the other. And again, I kept this part to show that I'm trying to work this side here, and because I left that plug, sorry, it'll clear it. Sorry, I know it's a little blurry there. There you go. Because I left the plug, I'm actually not able to get the leverage. Then I realized, whoops, got to move that plug out of the way, and then I was able to get the leverage. So doing the 2 side tabs are very easy, actually. You just put the flathead in and you kind of roll it and it comes out. That middle one, though, is a lot harder because it's a little bit harder to get the leverage in. So you get the screwdriver in and kind of work it, but eventually it'll come out. You just kind of be patient. When you're doing this, if you're deciding to do this for whatever reason, you're replacing your foam cushion, you're replacing your leather, you just want to give it a really deep clean, just be patient with this. You can see that's the one that gives more trouble. Now these ones here, they come up pretty easy. You just kind of put your, whatever you're using, we'll call it flathead for now, and you just roll it out. Don't put it on the outside like what I'm doing here. Instead, you want to go from the inside. So you want to go from behind the metal plate and pry out that way. Like that, see? And you do the same this for both sides. And then for the front, same thing, you just kind of go in. Now be careful when you're applying. You want to be firm with your pressure, but you don't want to give too much. You don't want to slip and puncture your leather or slip and hurt yourself, stab yourself with a screwdriver or something. You just want to be firm, but not too crazy with it, and it'll just come right out. Now you go to the back, and there's that same vinyl roll tab over here. You just unroll it, or plastic, I should say, plastic roll tab. And then here we've got a loop and hook tab there. You just undo that. I'll call it Velcro for now. That's the brand name, but he's calling a hook and loop. So now you start pulling the leather away. Now you got to be careful in here because there is more Velcro in here. And if you just pull, like if you see this here, and you just start pulling at it, and without using your hand, do like that, you're going to rip that foam. So instead, you want to go in and just work it with your fingers bit by bit and release it. The foam is not incredibly strong, and if it comes to the Velcro versus the foam is going to lose. So you just kind of work your hand around. You'll see it's 3 strips that run across, and then there's 2 that run along the middle. This one here and one at the back. And the same thing, you're just working it along, working it all the way as you go. And when you get to the back, again, same idea, just kind of pull and release. There you go. And once you get that, just a matter of feeding the leather through the bottom of the seat. Now there's a hook that goes around the seat belt, so you're going to start from the opposite side of the seat belt. Firm but gentle pressure. You don't want to rip anything. You're just going to pull it through, and you're going to lift it right over the seat belt, and away you go. There you go. Now you can clean it or replace it or whatever you want to do. If you want to, if for example, fix your heated seats, this is where you would do it. If you're, for example, there's the elements burnt out or something, you can get to all the wiring, which is fed along the back here. If you're pulling off the old element, be careful because it will tear the foam, and then the new one you glue on. You know, just try and be as gentle as you can with it. Then once you're done with your repair, we're going to go ahead and put it back on. And same idea, this just feeds right over. So you see that's the loop I was telling you about. That's why you start with that. That's kind of, you put that on first and foremost, because if you don't, you won't be able to get it on after. I'll tell you right now. So yeah, make sure you hook that first. And then you're going to feed all this. It's kind of like really just in reverse of everything you just did. So you're just going to feed this back through. You're going to kind of reach around there to the back while using one hand at the front and kind of shoving it through, using the other hand at the back to kind of pull it through as you're doing both and you're working it. Again, being careful not to damage anything, and you know, firm pressure, pull it through, feed it as you go. Don't try and stuff it all at once. Just feed and pull, feed and pull. You know what I mean? You can actually see me doing it directly right there. All right. Then once you get here, then it's just a matter of lining everything up once you've got it fed through. Right now it looks sloppy, but the main thing is to get the center all fixed. Once the center is all fixed in, then you're all set, because everything will kind of come together. So now you move to your Velcro, and you're going to kind of work your Velcro in, because the Velcro is static. It's not moving, right? So you get the Velcro in and you line it up perfect. You kind of work, see I'm working in there with my hand. And you just kind of move along, kind of the reverse, slowly pushing the Velcro in and working the leather as you go. You'll see me do it later. Don't be afraid if you need to give the leather a little bit of a hit or a slap or something. This helps it move and helps it flex as you need to. So, you know, make sure, of course, as you see there, make sure everything is pulled out and ready to go. Nothing gets trapped underneath. And you just kind of work it along as you go, right? You see I'm pulling it. I'm moving it, I'm shifting it. It's all about working, and it's about patience. It's not going to fit right away. But you see, you kind of, I focus on the main 2 tabs that run across, and then once that's in, then it's just a matter of working everything else in. And you can see now, again, the same idea. I'm shifting and moving as I work. You can see it, the middle looks pretty good. It comes along quite nicely, actually, if you keep working it. And then from there, you pull everything over, and then when you use those roll tabs, that'll kind of, you know, firm out everything else up. But the middle looks pretty good right now. Again, working it through, making it look as smooth as possible. Another tip, if you guys want, see here I'm slapping it now, working the leather. Another tip, if you want, you can actually use steam, and the steam helps to loosen the leather a bit too, makes it more pliable. So you can do that as well. I didn't find I needed to, but I had my machine ready just in case. So from here, I'm working the front of the seat first, and it's just a matter of you take the tabs, the plastic tab, and roll it against the metal, and you just kind of roll as you go. You see kind of pulling and rolling at the same time, and you'll eventually hear and feel a click, and that's when you know it's clicked in and it's locked in, ready to go. You see it, and there's also a cord that runs along there, so you want to make sure that cord clears it too, doesn't get trapped underneath. So you just kind of keep working it along. And then we go to the sides. Now the sides, I do the big tab. Don't do the small tab yet, not until you secure more of the back. But I just do the big tabs for now. Again, same idea. You pull it nice and tight. You work it, and then you kind of roll it right on and just make sure it snaps in. There you go. And so now, when you work this around, kind of work with this here. And same thing, you've got that plastic roll tab. All right, and you fix that in. And then once you do that one side, that's when you can put this other tab, the smaller tab, and roll that on. And the same thing, when you do the other side here, the Velcro, now I actually put the tab on already, and you could do that too. This one's, you know, interchangeable, but I put I already had put the bigger side tab, and now I did the smaller one. And now I'm kind of working this hole. And you want to make sure you line up that hole with where the screw is. So when you have to put that trim piece back on, it lines up perfectly, right? So I'm just working the leather as I go, working the cloth material that's on the back as well, but making sure everything lines up. And then put that all together. And you can see the hole lines up perfect. And now you do the back, and the back is the trickiest one to do. One, because the leather is now a little bit tight from being pulled in other areas, and two, those tabs are quite annoying. Again, be careful, they are very sharp. But it's the same idea, you're just rolling this the plastic roll tabs right over the metal, and make sure they click, and you'll actually see and feel a click when it happens. And then you just check everything, make sure it all looks good, lines up okay, all secure. There you go. Alright, so now we're going to get our side trim ready. First thing we'll do is we'll plug everything back in. So we'll plug in here. And we'll plug in here. Alright, we'll push that in. Alright, now the one mistake I made here, if you look to the right, is I'm not lining up the back bit. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest, and I didn't realize I was hooking. I'm struggling. I'm like, why is this thing not going? And then I realized, oh, oops, I didn't have it back enough. But once you do, you're all good, and then you can actually push that over. Now again, be careful with your trim. And you also want to work with the handle there. It has that piece that sticks out, so you're just kind of rolling it around. And if everything goes well, you're not going to damage your trim at all. And then from here, it's just putting your screws back in. So here we're going to put our first screw. You can tighten this one up all the way. And you can use that as kind of your center point here. So there you go. And then we'll do the back one. This one you can also tighten up all the way. So now for this one here, I tightened it up part way, and then I kind of did a final work on the leather. Kind of push it down, work it down a bit, do a final kind of, let's call it a massage. Then I pushed down and did a final tighten. This kind of just helps kind of make the trim and the seat line up a little better. Do a final tighten, and then it just looks a little better there. And now I'm just doing kind of a final work on the leather, make sure all like lines up well. All right, all looks good, I'd say. And then for your handle, you put the clip in. Make sure you put the clip from the bottom, not the top, because if you put it at the top, you're not getting this handle back off ever again. So make sure it's facing the bottom, and you just push it in, test it, make sure all works okay, and you are good to go. All done.
Thank you everyone for watching. I do appreciate all the support out there. Don't forget to throw a like on that video if it helped you, if you found the information useful, anything like that. Make sure to like it. Don't forget to subscribe, help the channel grow, and hit the notification if you want to see more of my videos. If you dislike the video, that's okay, no problem at all, but don't be a troll, alright? Make sure you put why in the comments. I mean, maybe I missed something, maybe I got something wrong, maybe there's something you feel better, or you didn't like how I filmed. Whatever it is, put it in there. I make these videos to help people out, so I can only make it better if I get the feedback, but I need the feedback. Just don't be trolling, alright? Otherwise, if you have any other comments, feel free to do so. I answer questions whenever I can. If you want to add something on there, if you have a helpful tip that maybe I didn't cover, I didn't even know about, make sure to put that in the comments as well. I want to thank everyone, and I will see you all next video.